everybody, and welcome to Adobe Live. We would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land in which we are creating and streaming from today, and pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. My name is Flynn. I'm hosting today with the fantastic Johanna Aneman. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing very good. I just realized I had the sound on my iPad that I'm using to switch chat.
So you can hear my voice like going rah rah twice.
Not yet, but I could hear the intro.
It was coming.
Start. So yeah, this is how you know it's live, everyone.
That's right.
And that we are both extremely professionals.
Yeah, real people. So Johanna is of course part of our Adobe Live team here in Asia Pacific and also an illustrator in her own right, and she also has a lovely dog on her bed called Milo.
Yes.
Hello.
Milo is very much sleeping. Took her for a walk this morning in the rain, and now she'll be out for the day till she needs to go on a walk again.
Absolutely knackered dog. Love it.
Absolutely knackered.
And hello chat as well. I can see Gareth and Frank have also said hi. How you doing? Great to have you with us today. We're here for an hour. If you're over on YouTube, jump on over to behance.net/live if you want to interact with us. Let us know where you're from, what's going on. Is it pouring rain where you are? Because it sucks here, and it's going to be a wet couple of days, but yeah, let us know what's up. This is part 2 of a 2-part series, and we had a great stream on Tuesday. We did a lot of sketching, spooky sketching, drawing, and things like that. And we're going to kind of take it to the next level here today. So, Johanna, do you want to tell us all about it?
I will tell you all about it.
All right, great.
So, quick recap, because I'm assuming you're sharing my screen now.
I am now, totally. I know what I'm doing.
Excellent. So quick recap. First, here's a mood board of some of the works that I've done in the past. I find looking at previous sketches even, or just going through my sketchbook, is a great way to sort of jot my memory of what I like to draw, how I like to draw it, ideas that I've explored in the past. So just a great way to kind of re-inspire myself by doing it with my own work. So based on this, we kind of thought, what could we do? We could do a sticker sheet or something. The main thing that I wanted to get across is how you can use one drawing in multiple ways. So from one single piece, or in this case for us, a single skull, you can create many things. So these were the various skulls that we explored. I absolutely loved all the prompts that we got. And Flynn, you're going to have to send the rest of them to me that we did not have time for, because they were fantastic. And based off of these, the ones that were kind of the most cohesive and looked like they could potentially be a series in their own right were these. So I just put these on their own canvas, so I could really see like, okay, yes, these make sense together. Now we will get to the here's what I prepared earlier moment already, because I did yesterday have a go at inking these. So this is just the first pass to see, well, does the idea translate? Does it translate well beyond the sketch? Because the sketch is usually very rough and scribbly, and you sometimes you can make a great sketch, but then it isn't quite as easy to transfer it into your final line work style. Right. Well, sometimes for me anyway. So I wanted to test this out with 3 different brushes, if you can believe it. And just so that we give the people what they want, I have also made a note of which brushes I used.
Oh, look at that. You came prepared. You knew the questions that were going to come up. Yeah.
Exactly. No, brushes is probably the most common question that we get. And I'll be maybe a little bit of a hypocrite and say that the brush does lend a hand and dictate how your piece turns out. Generally, I will say it doesn't matter what brush you're using, as long as you're having fun. That's the main thing. But here we can see that from the cartoon nib to the chalk brush, we do subtly get a different result. So they are all, of course, part of Carl T. Webster's collection of brushes. Can't go wrong with his work. So we have from the ink box and the dry media section. So these are all part of the Carty Webster Mega Pack that you can get access to through Creative Cloud and using Fresco and both Photoshop. So the cartoon nib is really textured. I love the sort of realistic, if it was maybe a fountain pen, how you would get that impact on the paper. And it really is very crunchy and was really fun to play with. And with the Inkbox Inker, we still have a little bit of that texture, and I'll zoom in a bit closer so you can see. Still got a little bit of that texture, but not quite as much as the cartoon nib. So this is a little bit more refined and probably one of my most common go-tos. And then hopping into the dry media pack, which is also in the mega pack, we have the chalk brush, and this is the one that I use to kind of create this really sketchy effect. So I won't actually fully color in the solid shape, so you can kind of see the background shining through on these. I'll zoom out again and just show these without, let's see, without the sketches behind them, and also without the brushes noted here. So this is where we are at now, and I hope everyone in chat is as excited as I am about these, because I would like you to pick which one, and maybe we'll have time for more than one, but which one of these you would like me to work on today. So the options that we have are, of course, the cowboy, the apple, and the ghost. And in terms of deliverables is a word that I can say. I was thinking maybe we do a animation of some kind, so like an animated GIF sticker.
That sounds cool.
Simple stuff, or we just paint it and do that as well.
Right. So going like a colored kind of more refined kind of
exactly,
route, or
yeah.
we can do a bit of an animated route. I like it. Also, hello, Alessandra in chat. I'm sorry you forgot your umbrella today. And Bill Hope is in chat as well. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. Bill Hope in chat, no pressure. Let's roll. Cool. So we've got 3 answers so far, which is 1, apple, and ghost. So that's 1 vote for each so far. Bill kind of did 2, but we'll wait for another minute or 2. For anyone watching live as well, like trying to navigate chat and Behance, it does seem to be a little bit buggy today. So thank you for being with us. I can't actually scroll up in chat. So that's an interesting bug that I haven't come across. So I'm gonna have to be like really on the ball, like keeping an eye on chat. But just before we kind of give people like another minute or something before, I'm gonna have to make an executive decision. When animating things, would you animate in Photoshop?
I would, yes. I have been experimenting a little bit with animating in Fresco as well.
Right.
But the sort of the technique and the principles are the same for all 2D animation. You just go frame by frame. And so we'll use my knowledge that I have from animating in Fresco and just pop that back into Photoshop. So the technique is pretty much exactly the same. So that's what we'll use today.
Cool. So some frame by frame animation, and it looks like, thank you, Frank, for jumping in. We'll go with apple. Oh, Jessica jumped in for number 1, but we're going to go with apple. We'll keep going because otherwise we'll. But thanks for joining. Thanks for participating, Jessica. It's great. Let's go with apple. Executive decision made. Let's
Fantastic.
roll. I love the little wormy coming out of the head with this apple.
Right?
I think that's what clinched it.
I think so. And it actually, if you remember, is a bit of a callback to my previous stream that I did with you, Flynn, where we did the bookmark.
That's right.
Because there was a bookworm on the bookmark. So maybe that is it's a bit of a trend.
Yeah. Got a worm as a mascot. So all your stuff needs to be worm themed.
Absolutely. That's you've made the decision now. Can't change it. So what I'm going to do is just look a little bit and find the right canvas, but I've decided that we are going to go and just do a simple 4,000 pixels by 4,000 pixels. Awesome. And we're not going to make it an artboard situation this time. And we'll do 600 pixel.
600, that seems quite high.
That is quite high. But that is kind of generally the standard that I go with, so to make sure that everything is nice and crisp. And I'm sure there is maths and a proper way of doing things, but as with many guests, we do have the disclaimer of this is just how I do things, and it seems to work out okay. So let's just go with that. I'm going to adjust the light a little bit. There we go. So before we start, I'm going to show you a little bit of a neat trick. So we have our line work here. Got the, let's see, skull line work, and the middle layer is the apple. And a trick that I learned way back is if you right click on your layer and go duplicate layer in the options that pop up, you can rename it here already. So let's rename it to apple. And what you can then do also is choose if you want to duplicate it within the document that you're working on or within a new document.
Oh, so you can just move it over that way.
Okay. Exactly.
That's cool.
So a little bit advanced copy paste. So we've got apple and Untitled 1 because that's our new canvas, and let's press OK. And I'm going to do the same.
I don't think I knew that you could do that. There we go.
Well, there you go. We're learning something new already.
One gold. It doesn't take long. What are we, 12 minutes in? I've learned something I didn't know. One gold star for you.
Thank you. And a gold star for you too.
Space point. Yeah.
But let's see here. Then we've got it. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. So what happened there is that it was stuck on the artboard tool. So if you look here right at the top with the move tool, so this is move in general.
I've got the camera blocking it. Do that again. Yep, there you go.
Here with the move tool, you've got the arrows pointing in all directions. That's the move tool that we want to move stuff within our canvas. But then if you right click, there's also the artboard tool, which is all about moving the actual artboard. So what happened there was that I was still on the artboard tool. So I just moved it back to the move tool.
Nice.
And that way I can now move and align our, let's see, little body here. And line to canvas. There we go. And we go middle and middle. All right. Now I think for the sake of just having some line work happening here on stream, what I will do is press Command T and then hold down Shift. No, I won't, because Photoshop has changed it. I won't hold down Shift. But I will just increase the size.
I can't remember
here.
who was on the stream. I think it might have been Jeremy Lord or something, but he did it. And I was about to say, hey, you don't need to do that anymore. But I think he might have reverted it, like back, like changed it, because I think his muscle memory, which is, and then I stopped myself saying it because then I saw that it was working for him. And I was like, I think he's changed it back to the OG because he's been using Photoshop for,
possibly,
forever.
Yeah. All right. So, the reason for this is it's a new canvas, and we get a new shot at doing these lines. And since we're already going to be doing these lines again already because we're animating, I thought, how about we just resize the artwork as well and make it nice and crisp. Because obviously working with bitmap instead of vector, let's see, that brush is a bit too big. I'm gonna make sure that I have the right one. Yes, I do not. We go up here.
So you're looking for a more solid brush instead of a sketchy brush?
Yes,
is
so
that right?
I'm looking for, let's just go back and see what it was called, because my memory is quite short, so I want the Inca ink box. Okay. We'll go here. And I'm just going through layers. This is a very accurate representation of me using Photoshop. Let's see. And then here we have...
Can you search?
Brushes. You can, so let's do that.
I'm like search all day, every day for everything. Like I never try
absolutely.
My apps on my phone, from files on my desktop, like it's all about search. Otherwise I'll never find anything.
There we go. I do believe that it is the American Comics Inca. Yes, it is. Now we're in business. So as you can see, many brushes. You don't need that many, but they are fun to collect.
It's like a designer having like 3,000 fonts and using 3.
Absolutely. Absolutely that. Now, I'm gonna do my best to do what I will advise people not to do, which is get too stuck in the absolute first frame, because this is going to be a nice and textured 2D animation. None of the quality of the frames, how accurate you are, won't necessarily matter, because you're going to be redrawing it differently several times. But first, let's just draw, excuse me, the first frame. So we have a starting point. And I find when I'm trying to, when I keep drawing the same line over and over again, it usually means that my brush isn't thick enough. So I'm just increasing and decreasing the size to kind of find a spot that I'm more comfortable with.
And I assume you're using a tablet of some kind?
Yes, I am using a Intuos tablet, and thankful that you brought it up, because I usually also use an iPad, and obviously then I can look down at the screen and see exactly where I'm putting down the ink. And in this case, I'm looking up at a screen and having to use my excellent hand-eye coordination to draw these lines.
Right.
So that's why this is a little bit janky. So I'm just going to bring up the smoothing on this brush to 20%. See if that helps. Yes, that helped. Just to make this a little bit easier on me and my ego to draw.
So often I think people forget about smoothing, especially when like demonstrating going from sketching to line work. Like it's such an easy thing to just kind of forget about. And you probably remember this, but there was someone that came on and did like a 2-hour live stream a while ago and found out in the last 10 minutes that their smoothing was off. And they're like, oh, that's why everything looks a bit weird. That's why this was so hard. I thought I was nervous. I was shaking.
I know exactly who you're talking about, and I felt that deep in my soul.
Yeah.
It was not a fun time for them, but they did an excellent job.
I wouldn't have noticed if they didn't say anything. It's like that sort of stuff. It's like if you're trying to give a talk or a presentation and, you know, you panic because you forgot this one thing that you were going to say, but no one knows. Like if you don't tell everybody or if you run at a time
if you don't
and you
announce
don't get to do
it
the
live
last
on
thing.
stream, no one knows.
No one knows. Misty says, this is so cute.
Well, thank you. That was kind of the overarching theme that we got at the end on Tuesday, was just like, okay, all these 3 skulls are very cute and very simple, kind of really lend themselves to being animated, and worked on further.
And I guess with animation, the simpler the better, right? Like if you've got something pretty complicated, it's either more to animate or there's more bits, or just it would take a really long time, or it would be a big file size or something. So I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even just thinking, okay, you've got a stick figure walking, doing that walk cycle. All you have to worry about is the legs, the arms. You don't need to worry about, okay, well, what's their hair doing or what's their clothes doing. So the more complex, the more I guess subjects you add to the animation and also frames you add to the animation, the even more complex it's gonna get.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I've just started a new layer to do our worm friend here. And that's just to make it a little bit easier for myself when erasing, and I won't have to stress about erasing the apple when I'm focusing on the worm. But what I will actually do, I think, later is just merge these so that they are on the same layer. Let's see. And also, of course, we'll go back to the apple and remove this line here that you wouldn't see because that is where the worm is. Okay.
While you're doing some of that line work, I just want to see, is everyone registered for Adobe Max free this year?
Good question.
I just want to see, like, who has. Have you registered for Adobe Max, Johanna?
I have registered.
Okay.
You know this, Flynn.
I'm just checking. I'm curious. Because, like, for me, I think, you know, it's a very easy to do last minute thing. But, yeah, I might, if I've got some time, I might just kind of mention that there's some awesome sessions from here in Asia Pacific that we've actually been working on all year. There's 9 sessions all ready to roll that you can register for. And the Illustrator lovers out there, I'll mention 2. We have the fantastic Gemma O'Brien has a really great breakout session, so you can register for that. I think that's available on the website now. That's like super fresh. So that will be really cool. So just throwing that out there. If you're looking for, virtually, check it out. It's going to be a really great year. There's some really good stuff. I've been working on it behind the scenes, like I said, since February. So it's finally here. But that'll be a really great session. So check it out.
Excellent. And what I'm doing now, because now I'm happy it's good enough, the first frame of this animation, and the more sort of differences and imperfections that we have as we do each frame, I feel like the kind of more fun and unique it is. So to animate, what I've done is I've gone up into the Windows panel and then scrolled all the way down to timeline. And then that just brings up our timeline here at the bottom. And then all we need to do is press create frame animation. And everything that we now see on this, all the layers that are visible now, this is our first frame. So to create a second frame, we'll go down here to the left and we'll create a new frame, and that just duplicates everything that is on the first frame onto the second frame. Now, to very crudely show how now we've created a 2-frame animation, I will move this skull a little bit so we can see that there's a difference, because now this second frame isn't the same as the first. And then I will just press play, and you can see very crudely
this is great. This
that
is done.
we made a done. Let's pack it up.
Good job, everybody.
No more work needed. But you can see very crudely how we have made this animation work. Nice. But now what we want to do is working first just on the skull is we will do a makeshift onion skin, which is a technical term, not from Shrek, but it basically just means that in traditional ways of doing animation, you would have pieces of paper on top of each other. And obviously with having printer paper, it's relatively thin, so you could still see the sketch that you did in the previous frame underneath your new piece of paper. So this allows us to see kind of where we're going much more easily. And so we can then follow the flow of the animation to make sure that it is consistent. But for our purposes today, we're just going to use this as a general guide to redraw this apple again. And now when I'm doing this, I am trying to be staying somewhat true to the initial sketch, but also not fussing too much about it, because the more it kind of jiggles a little bit, the more fun it is, I think.
So you're not trying to do exactly the same thing, because then you just copy and paste it. You're kind of trying to be slightly offset.
Exactly. And it depends, of course, how jittery, I suppose, you want your animation to be. Will depend on like how much you go out of the lens of the previous one, and obviously, of course, you can then go back and clean up the frames and make them even more like each other, or even more unlike each other. And this is kind of what makes animation a time-consuming process. But let's just continue doing the first frame that's different, and we'll see how we go. But I will say, if I was also coloring this piece, what I would do is just copy and paste the colored layer and make it a little bit different, as opposed to redoing the colors completely from scratch, because that's excuse me, that is way more work than you need to for something as simple as this little apple pal is on their way to poison you. Let's see. But if anyone has any questions about what I'm doing, animation in general, granted I have a very fundamental and approximate knowledge of animation, but I think that's really all you need. You ask me. So I know it just well enough to be able to do it where I make something that I enjoy, and because I enjoy it, chances are other people might enjoy it too.
That's right.
Let's see. We touched on it briefly in our previous session, but I'm wondering, Flynn, based on these streams that we've had, do you think you'll celebrate, or it was celebrate or not commiserate, but let's go with celebrate. Will you celebrate Halloween any different this year? As a
yeah. So yeah, for those that missed Tuesday session, we were just talking about, I moved to the suburbs, so it's a very different environment here than being like in a city, slightly out of city. And I think that they'll do stuff in the street. So I think we're going to go trick-or-treating. And we're discussing outfits and things like that. So yeah, it should be fun. Should be interesting. I think we're going to catch up with some friends who also live in this area, and we'll either go around kind of their area and or we'll stick around here. So it should be fun.
That sounds great.
I don't know what I'll wear, but you know,
I'm sure
not something of my own choosing.
Can help you figure that out, Flynn.
I want to go as an apple skull now.
Ooh.
With a little worm coming out of my head.
Honestly, we might have to have a Who Wore It best competition here at Adobe Live APAC. Everyone has to dress up as a skull apple.
Just checking in with chat as well. Yeah, it sounds like most of you have registered for Virtual Max, which is great because it's free and there's heaps of stuff. Just while you're doing some of this outline stuff, I thought I might just bring up, I'm just going to take over the screen for a sec. You keep rolling along. Just wanted to bring up a couple that if you're interested in our stream today with Johanna, oh wow, that's taken over like literally the whole screen. That's not supposed to do that. It took over our cameras and everything.
Right. It's fine. I don't need to be here. It's all good.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I got 3 sessions that I want to pimp. This is Ellen Winata. She's from Singapore. She's created this session called Easy Augmented Reality Interactive Illustrations with Aero, which is really cool. So she's creating illustrations in Illustrator and then creating augmented reality in Aero, and it's like all in less than 25 minutes. It's super cool. She's really great. That's one to check out. So yeah, I guess you just like look up the S903 is the code if you're on the website, or you can just search for her name, Ellen Winata. We also have Gemma O'Brien, which some of you might know, some of you might not, but she's kind of designed royalty here in Australia. Yeah, she's also doing a session with us this year, a new creative approach to designing with your whole body. So it's a little bit more around not only drawing, illustration, kind of a bit of calligraphy, bit of offline and online. She uses an iPad at one point, and she also uses a desktop at one point. She kind of does lots of stuff, but it's also around like the whole physical and wellness of your body when you're designing and creating. So it's a very interesting approach and session. It's a new one she's never done ever before, so that's really cool. So that's 909. And last one I'll share today is Kitty Pelaskis as well, which some of you may or may not know. She's from Melbourne in Australia. She's a craft-based designer. She did some streams with us not that long ago. She's an Adobe Express ambassador as well. And she's just super great. That's a really fun session too, and that's 902. So if you're looking for some folks from our world, check it out.
Amazing. Now
we're back to business. We're back to work.
We're back. Boy. Okay. So what I have done now is just make three frames, and if I was making this and sharing it with other people, what I would do is I would name these a little bit more carefully. But since it's just for the live stream and just for me, we're not going to do that. But I have all these frames, and before we do anything, I am going to set them all to 0.1 second delay, which hopefully will make this a little less crazy. But let's see how just 3 frames look as a little animation. There you go. It is not as chaotic as our initial test and showing of how this animates, but
that's cool.
Now the more frames you add, the smoother this transition might be, and you can obviously slow down. Let's bring this to 0.5 seconds. You can slow down and speed up this animation. Let's see. Ooh, that's a bit too slow, isn't it? I think so.
It's subtle, isn't it? Like it might be a very small change in there, but it makes a big difference to the animation.
Absolutely. So let's go 0.2 and see if we like that. It's not too bad. I think having 4 frames would probably be better, but for the sake of time, because I want to do a little bit with the worm as well, we'll leave it to 3.
Okay, just before we move on, I just want to ask a question that's come up before it disappears, because it's been funny. Alessandra asks, what is your favorite medium to create art? Have you done any traditional before?
Ooh, yes. I'm gonna give a cop-out answer and say that I love all mediums, and I will put my pen down just for a second to prove this point. Because here we have, let's see, they don't look like much now. But here are some cardboard, paper mache, magnets that I'm making. So we've got a skull here. Can't tell yet because there's no paint on it. I've just done the priming, and we've got a witch's hat, and we've got Boo, and we have a pumpkin. So these I will then paint and color stick magnets on the back and then throw that on the fridge. So
Very
to
cool.
answer your question, yes, I work traditionally, I work digitally. I enjoy having approximate knowledge of many things.
Huh.
And at the moment, I would say that making these cardboard sort of sculptural pieces are my mindfulness activity, and kind of what is bringing me the most joy at the moment.
Nice. We all need that. Is that from Adventure Time? The approximate knowledge of all things?
It sure is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Good.
Very good.
I got a reference.
Good catch. Awesome. Now, what I didn't mention, but I did do is after I'd done all the onion skinnings, I made these 3 layers. I went back and double checked on each frame that the other layers weren't present. So when I created this last third frame, no, this large, yes, third frame, the layers of the previous one was still shown because I was using that as a guide. So what's important with this method is that you first of all name your layers. It is very helpful for animating in Photoshop, and make sure that you, on each frame, you only have the layers visible that you want to be visible. And you do have to, as far as I know, go back and edit that manually. But if there's a way to not have to do that, I don't know it yet. So now we have a little skull apple. But then I thought, ideally, this animation is a little bit too off model, so to speak. So it's moving around a little bit too much because I did want the worm to be the focus, but this kind of showed us how to actually do this kind of thing. And I've just noticed a mistake, which is right here, which is that I forgot to erase this. So something that you'll find yourself doing a lot when creating animations like this is rewatching it again and again and again to catch mistakes or find things to refine. But now that we have sorted out the skull, I'm gonna go here and make that into a folder and just name that skull. And that should keep it the same. Amazing, that keeps it the same. So now we've contained this animation, and I might even actually lock that folder because we don't want that to move at all anymore. But I will unlock it before I do that, just so I can bring down the opacity a little bit to make drawing our worm a little bit easier. So I've moved back to the first frame and sticking to this first layer, but now making a second layer on the second frame. And I will go back to layer 1 of the worm. This is where it gets a little bit difficult to explain just with words, and it's better just to show what you're doing. So I'm going to bring the worm as well, also to a lower opacity in layer and frame 1, and then for layer 2, frame 2, I will now redraw it, but I'm not going to redraw it in the same way as I've been redrawing the apple. I'm actually going to redraw it as if it's coming out of the apple.
Right. So it'll be coming out and then coming back in, surely, if it's 3 frame, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, if we were... Actually, I have an idea that I want to test. Because I wonder, here in Photoshop, you can do both frame by frame animation and video animation. So I'm wondering if we could have those separate so that the the skull loops, but the worm stays the same. Now, I don't know if that's possible. And we do have, I'd say, 15 minutes
15
left.
minutes.
So we'll see how we go.
Yep.
But let's just try this, and we'll see what we'll keep and what we will remove.
And we've got a few extra people joining us. So if you are just joining us, we're doing some frame by frame animation based on Spooky Skull apple with a worm coming out of it. It's interesting where we ended up when we were planning this stream. So if you've got any questions, throw them in chat while we're rolling along.
Absolutely. And I would love to know what everyone's favorite Halloween candy is, or if you say Halloween lollies, and when the last time was that you went trick-or-treating. So if you can tell me that, I will be very happy.
I'll start. Never. I've never gone trick-or-treating.
Oh, tragic.
I know.
Oh no.
I know. It seems like so much fun.
It really is. Now, the funky thing that we're going to be doing now, excuse me, is to make things easier for ourselves. I am going to copy out and erase the worm from this. Let's see here. From the hole that it is emerging from, because I don't think I necessarily want that to be moving. But if I do, I would do that on yet another layer. Let's see, and then we go here and remove it from there. Now, in theory, this should work perfectly, but we'll see. And now, of course, since the worm is emerging out of the apple, and we started with it being already at the apple, we have to go back and just make sure that our frames are done in the right way. Or ordered in the right way, I should say. So going back and hiding frames, and let's see. Now, why is that? That's stuck there. So now it's the painstaking going through. Well, not so painstaking, because this is just 3 frames, but this would be painstaking if we were doing it with more frames. But going through, making sure, okay, first frame, then we have a tiny worm, second frame, we have a bigger worm, and third frame, we have the biggest worm. Okay, so now when we press play, oh,
hey,
we have a worm that sticks out. And then, of course, we can go back to the skull, unlock it, bring the opacity back all the way to 100, and now we have a complete animation.
Hey,
now,
that's cool.
Looking at this, I do think that I'd probably do a little bit of animation, or a couple of frames on the hole of which the worm is coming out of. Because it is standing out a little bit to me as, okay, that's not moving, everything else is moving, and that's kind of just, this is where animating, you can spend so much time just, okay, I mess with this, and then you want to mess with this, and you want to mess with that. So I think having a clear idea and writing down what you want to move before you get into moving it is a really good idea. And of course, just with more experience, you'll know, okay, this thing, I need this to move and that means that only one other thing can move. Otherwise, it'll be too many things moving all at once.
Right.
And things like that. So this is how you animate in Photoshop. And we've gone from prompt sketching to more refined sketching to line work to a finished little animation here.
Very cool. Do you want to just go back to the very start? We'll just kind of show the process just again for anyone that missed the Tuesday, and then we'll wrap up. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. Okay, so spoiler. We started right here with a mood board to get the feel of what we wanted to do, to reference previous work, and basically a little bit of a cheat sheet for making something. And then we went into Prompt Town, where I got prompts for different skull-shaped or skull-inspired objects. So we got a fire skull, a ghost skull, apple skull, or poisoned apple skull, mushroom skull, insect skull, and cowboy skull, which still I think remains my absolute favorite. And then we just decided that, okay, the cowboy, the apple, and the ghost kind of, they look like they belong together. They have similar kind of shape language of being simple curves, and they're both small, or they're all small, and so they just fit really well. And from that, I did a little bit of homework and inked these in, using different brushes to get a different effect, and also using the brushes to inform, okay, well, what would be the best outcome for this little illustration.
Yep.
And then, of course, we talked to chat, and they decided, with the help of Flynn, that the apple was the way to go. And we popped that into a new document, which I'm going to save right now. Skull apple. There we go. Saving that. This is a spooky we were saving at the last minute, but we popped this into a new document, increased the size, and then used Photoshop's frame-by-frame animation to create this little fella.
Very cool. Well, there you go. I love it.
There you go. So a simple, sweet little fella that you from this point on, you could add more characters, you could animate the rest of them, you could create more of a decorated background, you'd color this in as well. I imagine you could color it red and then animate sort of a shimmering gloss going across the apple to show that it's very shiny, or something like that. But that is potentially beyond my expertise as of now, and is definitely beyond the time constraint of this stream. But
definitely.
There you go.
Well, that's great. And thanks for joining us, everyone in chat. Yeah, Misty in chat says, I'm in love with this cute animation. Yeah, it's been great. Well, thanks for showing us all of this. And yeah, it sounds like most of you are registered for Adobe Max. Definitely check it out. Don't sleep on it. There's so much exciting stuff coming. Obviously, lots of announcements as well that, we can't talk about, but Johanna and I are very excited about a couple of them. So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff coming along. So don't miss out. Thanks again for joining us. We're actually going to be back tomorrow. We have a live stream tomorrow, which is very out of character for us. It's with two amazing people, Jessica and David, who are 3D immersive artists. Very cool. It's a bit of a chat, it's a bit of a show and tell, but they do amazing work. We've been trying to find a time for about 4 months to chat to them, because they're so busy doing stuff. But if you're into that sort of thing, definitely check it out. It's the same time, but it's tomorrow. So it'll be Friday for us. Might be Thursday evening for some of you folks in the US. But please join us, jump in, check it out. They've got some incredible stuff. And thank you, Johanna, for everything today and on Tuesday. It's been great.
Thank you. It's been really, really fun. And now I just want to animate all weekend. So thank you.
Well, it might be rainy. So yeah, maybe that's something that you'll have to do to keep yourself entertained.
Might be.
All right. See everyone, and hopefully see you tomorrow. We'll see you in the next Adobe Live. Bye.
Catch you later, everyone. Bye.